Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all once again in my YouTube channel Curious Physics. In this particular lecture, I am going to start the fourth chapter of your book, and the name of the chapter is Moving Charges and Magnetism. Okay, in this chapter, we will try to discuss all the concepts or all the derivations which are given in your NCERT books. And one more thing, the whole sole purpose of this particular lecture series is to focus on your board exams. Okay, so this particular lecture series is board exam oriented and nothing to do with JEE and NEET. Okay, so let's start. The name of the chapter is Moving Charges and Magnetism. Okay, so in your first and second chapter, you have studied that whenever a charge is in static condition and you know that the basic heading of chapter 1 and 2 was electrostatics, meaning to say that at that particular chapters you have studied the behavior of charges when the charges are at static condition, when the charges are at static condition. In this particular chapter, we will try to discuss the behavior of charges when they are in moving condition, or you can say that when the charges has a particular speed or particular velocity. Okay, so chapter starts with Oersted experiment. Oersted experiment. In this experiment, there is a conductor. This is basically a conductor, and this particular conductor is placed nearby a magnetic needle, or you can say magnetic compass. Magnetic compass. Okay, and as you know that the magnetic compass is used to find the directions, or you know that this particular magnetic compass change its position when placed in a magnetic field. Okay, so when there is no current passing through this particular conductor, then there is no deflection in this magnetic compass. Then there is no deflection in this particular magnetic compass. But when there is a current passing through this, conductor, this particular compass shows a deflection due to current in the conductor. So here, when there is no current in the conductor, mean to say that the charges are at static condition. And when charges are at static condition, these charges produces, as you know, that they produce electric field. So when the charges start moving in the form of current, basically through this conductor, then these moving charges, or you can say the current, produces a magnetic field. This current produces a magnetic field, and due to this magnetic field, this particular magnetic compass or magnetic needle shows a deflection. So Oersted experiment was that the conclusion was that the moving charges, or you can say that the current carrying conductors produce magnetic field. They produce magnetic field. When they switch off the current, the deflection, or you can say that this particular magnetic needle regain its initial position. So basic conclusion was that you can say that the current carrying conductors produces magnetic field. Okay, and you know that the concept of fields. We have studied the concept of electric field. In the same way, there is another way that is that is magnetic field. That is magnetic field, and magnetic field produces by the moving charges. Magnetic field produces by the moving charges. Or okay, are you able to understand my point? Okay, this is basically the Oersted experiment. Oersted experiment. Next is main heading is magnetic force, but the sources and fields. Okay, you know that there are two kind of fields which till now we know. First one is electric field. First one is electric field, and second one is magnetic field. First one is electric field and second one is magnetic field. Electric field is produced by static charges, and magnetic field is produced by moving charges. Okay, whenever a charge is placed in this particular electric field, whenever there is a charge produced in this electric field, they experience the force. They experience the force. Experienced by the charge when placed in electric field. And in case of magnetic field, force experienced by a moving charge, force experienced by a moving charge when placed in a magnetic field. This is basically the concept of you can say the source of magnetic field. Whenever charge is in static condition, it will only feel the force, or you can say experience the force due to electric field. To experience the force in a magnetic field, there should the charge should have a, you can say, a particular velocity. Charge should have a particular velocity, and that particular force experienced by a moving charge in a particular magnetic field, that is known as magnetic force. That is known as magnetic force. Okay, are you able to understand my point? Okay, next concept is Lorentz force. Lorentz force is nothing but a total force experienced by, you can say, is nothing but the total force experienced by a moving charge when placed in a electric field and magnetic field. It is nothing but the total force experienced by a charge which is moving with, let's say, some velocity v, that experience of force in when that particular charge is placed in electric field and magnetic field. Let's say the electric field is given by E and magnetic field is given by B. Then the total force, and let's say that particular charge, let's say that particular charge is Q, and that particular charge is moving with velocity v. Then the total force experienced by the charge is, then first force is experienced by the force due to electric field plus force due to magnetic field. Okay, and as we know that the force due to electric field will be Q into E, because force per unit charge is equal to electric field, and force due to magnetic field will be Q into V cross B. B, this is the force due to electric field and this is force due to magnetic field. Okay, and here in this particular chapters the main purpose is to focus on the magnetic, the focus is on the particular magnetic force. Okay, so we have studied this electrostatic force, or you can say that a force due to electric field in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So here the main focus is on this particular magnetic force. Okay, and this case you can also write Q VB sin theta. Okay, and here this particular theta is the angle between velocity and magnetic field. Okay, if there is a and V cross B mean to say that the V cross B, so here the direction is very important. How to find the V cross B? Or you know that V cross B will be a third vector, so magnetic force will be Q V cross B. So how to get the value of this magnetic force? How to get the value of this particular magnetic force? We have studied this particular thing in, I think, in class 11 when you studied the concept of torque. Torque is basically nothing but the R cross F or F cross R. R cross F, the direction of R cross F is given by screw rule or right hand rule. Direction of force will be given by screw rule or right hand rule. Okay, how to find the direction of this magnetic force will be, the direction of magnetic force will be V cross B, and V cross B will be nothing but the direction of force will be perpendicular to both V as well as B. Okay, this can be found with the help of screw rule. And what is screw rule? You have to curl your fingers V cross B. Here you have, for example, in first case you have to curl your fingers of your hand like this. From V to B. Here V is this and B is this. You have to move your fingers V cross B, and the direction of thumb will tell you the direction of force, and the direction of thumb will be the direction of magnetic force. Okay, this V cross B, you have to move your fingers from velocity to vector towards magnetic field. Okay, so this is V, then towards V, and the direction of force will be the direction of, this is the direction of force. You can easily get the magnitude by just QVB sin theta, but how to find the direction is very important in this case. So you can practice, for example, in second case, this is a positive charge, then for positive charge direction will be in upward direction. Okay, but if let's say there is a negative charge, in place of this positive charge, then again curl your fingers V cross B, and this direction is for positive charge. If there is a negative charge, then the magnetic force will be in downward direction. Okay, in second case, let's say if the charge is negative, then the force will be in this direction. Are you able to understand my point? The first case, the force will be in upward direction when there is a positive charge. If there is a negative charge, the force will be in downward direction. Okay, are you able to getting my point? For example, in second case, there is V in you can say in y direction, V is in y direction and B is in x direction, then what will be the value of V cross B? V cross B and the charge is positive, and the charge is positive, then the V cross B, to curl your fingers from V to B, then the thumb direction will give the direction of force, and this is the direction of force. This is the direction of force. And let's say if the charge is negative, then the direction of force will be opposite as it was in case of this particular positive charge. This is the direction of, in case of if the charge is negative. If charge is negative, this is the basic concept how to find the direction of force. How to find the direction of force. Are you able to getting my point or not? What we have studied till now, magnetic field will be produced by the moving charges, and the moving charge, if placed in a particular magnetic field, it experiences a force due to this magnetic field. If this particular charge has no speed or velocity, it will not experience any magnetic force. It only experiences the force of electrostatics. Okay, are you able to understand my point? We have studied two basic points. One is magnetic field is produced by the moving charges, or you can say when a current passing through a conductor of magnetic field is produced. And second point is, if this particular moving charge, any moving charge is passing through a magnetic field, it will experiences a magnetic force. Without that particular speed, that charge will not experience any magnetic force. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, this is the basic idea. And now from this you can also experience what will be the value of magnetic field. Magnetic field will be force divided by Q into B, you can say sin theta. Q into not B, basically Q V sin theta. You can get the value of magnetic field. Now magnetic field is, in many points, magnetic field is same like the electric field. It follow the superposition principle. Superposition principle mean to say that if you have magnetic field due to various, and this is a vector quantity, that's why superposition vector quantity. Follow the superposition principle mean to say that this particular magnetic field due to various sources add with the help of vector algebra. With the help of vector algebra. Are you able to getting my point or not? The units of this magnetic field are Tesla. Units of magnetic field are Tesla. Another units we will discuss in next chapter. One more smaller units are Gauss and 1 Gauss is equal to 10 raised to power minus 4 Tesla. 1 Gauss is equal to 10 raised to power minus 4 Tesla. And magnetic field of Earth is nothing but, magnetic field of Earth is, I think, 4 into 10 raised to power minus 3.96, I think the exact value, 4 into 10 raised to power minus 5 Tesla. These are the basic point should be in your mind when you are going to study this particular magnetic field. Okay, this is the basic idea about the magnetic field. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? The basic the difficult thing here which we have studied till now, how to find the direction of force, how to find the direction of magnetic force. So you should practice how to move your hand from V to B. toward from the curl your fingers from V to B, and the direction of thumb will be the direction of the particular force okay. Next is magnetic force in a current carrying conductor. Magnetic force in a current carrying conductor. Okay, let's say there is a conductor. Let's say there is a conductor. Okay, are you able to understand my point? And this is the direction of current I. This is the current of I. This is area of cross section. This is L, and Q is the charge, or you can say that the per unit charge. Q is the charge. N is the number of charge per unit volume, number of charge particles. The number of charge particles, in case of conductors the charge particles are electrons. Number of charge particles per unit volume. B is, you know, that magnetic field. And within a conductor the charge particles are move with drift velocity, which we have studied in the chapter 2 in I think the section 1. Okay, the magnetic field, and Vd, or you can see the V is the drift velocity. This is all we know about this particular thing. Okay, then according to this particular according to Lorentz force, the magnetic force will be Q V cross B. This is the magnetic force. Okay, here the Q means the total charge. Q is not the charge. Q basically is the total charge. Q total can be written as N into total volume. Volume will be A into L, and total charge will be this particular small q. Small q is the, you can say, the one charge particle. So throughout the volume the total charge will be NaLQ. Okay, V is Vd and B is magnetic field. Then you know that NEAD, or we have known that I is equal to NEAVD. N is this particular N, E is charge Q. Here charge Q, the charge moving through this conductor. Then here we can write that according to this NQ VD into L cross B. This NQAVD will be I and L cross B. This is basically the magnetic force experienced by this conductor. And what will be the direction of force? Is L cross B. Now L is a, you know that the L is a scalar quantity, but here direction of L, how to here if you want to treat L like a vector, then the direction of L will be same as current. The direction of current and direction, or if you want to, then L cross B, you have to move your finger from L cross B, then the direction of thumb will give the direction of force. I hope you are able to understand my point. Are you able to understand my point or not? This is basically is the magnetic force. When you can say that the topic magnetic force in a current carrying conductor, the value will be ILB sin theta. You can say that also ILB sin theta or IL cross B, and theta is the angle between length, and if you want to treat length as a vector, then the direction of length will be same as the direction of current. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? This is the basic concept, and the formula will be IL cross B. So here is the question. A straight wire of mass 200 gram and length 1.5 meter carries the current of 2 ampere. It is suspended in midair by a uniform horizontal magnetic field. As shown in the figure, find the magnitude of magnetic field required to keep the wire in equilibrium. Okay, here is remember 2 points here. This particular sign and this particular sign are used so many times, will be used so many times in this particular you can say next 2 to 3 chapters. This particular sign is the into the paper, the electric current or magnetic field is moving into the paper, and this particular sign is moving out. It should be in your mind. It always should be in your mind. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? So in this case, you have to find the value of magnetic field required to keep the wire equilibrium. Here we know that magnetic force will be IL cross B. Okay, so here this is the length is given. I think length is 1.5 meter, and as I said, the direction of length, if you want to treat length as a vector, then the current is, let's say, flowing from A to B, then the length is from A to B. You have to find the value of force. L is this direction, and curl your finger toward B. B is into the paper, this. Then the direction of thumb give the value of magnetic force. So here the magnetic force will be in this direction, and here the angle between length and field. Length is this and field is this. The angle is 90 degree. So current to L is 1.5 and B sin 90. Sin 90 means 1. Okay, so the total weight is M into G. M is 200 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Means you have to convert this particular gram into kg, and G is 10. You can take G as 10. So it will come out to be 2 Newton. It will come out, this will come out to be 2 Newton. Okay, so upward, if this particular rod is in equilibrium, then the upward force is equal to downward force. Then 2 into 1.5 into B is equal to 2. Then the value of B is equal to 2 divided by 3. And I think the value will be approximately you can say approximately 0.65 Tesla. You will get the value 0.65 Tesla. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? This is the basic conceptual clarity should be there. You have the basic is how to find the value of this. Okay, you can find the value of force ILB sin theta, but the direction of force, how to find the direction of force is very, very important. How to find the value of force is very, very important. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, next is nothing but a simple example. This is basically a conceptual question. This is basically a conceptual question. If you able to solve this question, then your confidence will increase how to find the direction of force. Okay, if the magnetic field is parallel to the y, okay, magnetic field, this is the y. I think the magnetic field is in this direction, and you can say that, and the charged particle is moving along the positive x direction. Okay, and which way would the Lorentz force will be? An electron. Okay, the V cross B, you have to find V cross B, V in x and V cross B, B is in inward direction, then force will be positive Z. Positive Z for positive charge. Positive Z for this particular proton, and the charge on proton and electron is same, and that if and the electron have a negative charge, so for electron the direction will be opposite from this particular positive charge, so minus Z for this particular electron. The simple question, you know that V cross B, V cross, you can say I, V is toward I cap, Y is J cap, then I cross J is K cap, or you can say in Z direction, you can say in Z direction. Are you able to understand my point or not? Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay. Next case, motion in a magnetic field. Motion in a magnetic field is nothing but when a particular charge particle is moving with the velocity v and placed in a magnetic field, then this particular, what will be the behavior of that particular charge particle. Okay, let's say this is the magnetic field. Let's say this is the magnetic field B, and its direction is toward into the paper. We have discussed this particular cross sign means into the paper, and the magnetic field is constant. Magnetic field is constant. Okay, let's say a charge Q is moving with velocity v in this direction, moving with velocity v in this direction. Okay, then what, in first case, what will be the value of magnetic force? Or okay, you know, we can easily find the value of magnetic force, but what will be the direction of magnetic force? V is moving upward direction and B is inward direction. So curl your finger from V direction to B direction like this, then that direction will be inward direction. Direction will be in Fm will be Fm, magnetic force towards inward direction. If this particular charge particle move here and the direction of velocity is this direction, then what will be the direction of magnetic field? V to be downward direction. Okay, this will be this. Now if this here, then in this direction, and here in this direction. Okay, mean to say that when a charge particle having charge Q and having velocity v placed in a magnetic field, and velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, then that particular charge particle will move in a circle, or you can say the motion is the circular motion, uniform circular motion. The motion is uniform circular motion, or you can say that in like this circular motion. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? Circular motion, and at every point the magnetic force will be toward the center. At every point, if this is not the you can say this is the special case when B or V is perpendicular to V, mean to say that theta is 90 degree, then at every point this particular, the magnetic force will be towards center, and this magnetic force, due to this magnetic force, this charge particle move in a circular motion. Due to this magnetic force, magnetic force, this charge particle follow uniform circular motion. Are you able to understand my point? Mean to say that when a magnetic field is perpendicular to V and V is constant and there is a 90-degree angle between B and V, then this particular charge particle, let's say it's having mass m, it will move in a circular motion. Let's say the radius of the circle is r. Are you able to understand my point? Then if you have remembered that if any particle moving in a circular motion, then the force behind which forces it to move in a circular motion is a centripetal force. And in this case, the centripetal force is provided by the magnetic force. Here the centripetal force is equal to magnetic force. And the value of centripetal force is we all know that mv square by r. And what is the value of magnetic force? The magnetic force is equal to q v b sin theta, and sin theta is 90 and sin 90 is 1. So mv square. So what will be the value of radius of this particular circle? The radius of circle will be V, and V will cut each other. You can say mv by qb. This is the first relation. The radius of circle will be mv by qb. Are you able to understand my point or not? Next, what will be the time period? Time period is basically nothing but the time to complete one cycle. Okay, so time to complete, the total distance is 2 pi r. Okay, and velocity or speed you can say is v. Okay, so time period, from here you can enter the value of v in place of, or you can simply put the value of r, 2 pi mv by qb, 2 pi dot mv by qb and v, and this particular v and v will cut each other. You will get the value of time period. Time period will nothing but 2 pi m divided by qb. Are you able to understand my point or not? This is basically the 2 pi r by v. This is the time period. This is basically is nothing but the time period. Okay, are you getting my point or not? Then what will be the value of angular speed? Angular speed means omega. And the omega, what will be omega? Omega is nothing but you can say that omega is nothing but v by r. From equation 1, v by r can be is equal to qb by m. This is the angular speed. You can also write the value of frequency. You can also write the value of frequency. Frequency is nothing but 1 by t, and you know that the frequency is nothing but 1 by t means qb by 2 pi m. This kind of relation you can derive each and every relation, but the basic concept is the centripetal force is provided by the magnetic force. Centripetal force is basically provided by the magnetic force. Are you able to getting my point or not? And the other things you can easily find what will the value of time period, omega, and all the things. Okay, are you able to getting my point or not? Okay, the basic is okay, the basic conceptual clarity should be in your mind, should be in your mind. Okay, next is this was, we have started this particular derivation by saying that magnetic field and particular velocity are same. Let's say a case when the magnetic field and velocity are not perpendicular to each other, not perpendicular to each other. Let's say the case magnetic field in this direction, let's say B, and this is y direction, let's say, and this is z direction, let's say. Okay, this is okay. Then let's say this charge particle plus having velocity in this direction, let's say v, let's say v, mean to say that this particular velocity making an angle, let's say theta, with horizontal, and this will be the Vt will be the perpendicular component, okay, and this will be the parallel component. This is the case, and this particular Vt is responsible for, in the previous section we have just derived everything, is responsible for circular motion. Okay, let's say I want to write this. Okay, let's say this particular Vt is responsible for circular motion, is responsible for circular motion, and V parallel is responsible for motion, you can say horizontal motion. Let's say there is a charge Q, then this V parallel will move this charge in forward direction, and V perpendicular will move this charge in circular motion, will move in a circle. Okay, so the motion will be like this, motion will be like this, The circle is Vt is responsible, V perpendicular is responsible to form a circle, and V parallel is responsible for moving charge, is moving the charge in forward direction. And this particular, when charge completes a one cycle, that particular charge move in a some forward direction, and some forward direction is known as pitch, and the formula of pitch velocity is V parallel, and if there is no you can say that no acceleration, then y in the same time the particular charge completes one cycle, the forward distance covered in time t, and t is nothing but a time period, and we have defined time period here is like this, like 2 pi m by qp, 2 pi m by qb. So from here you will put the value of time and you will get simple your answer. This particular pitch is the forward distance covered by the charge particle, Are you able to understand my point or not? This is nothing but the simple thing we have just related. If the velocity is not perpendicular to B, then the first task is to components. We have created two components, one is horizontal and one is perpendicular, and then solve in simply. I able to, and this path known as helical path. Helical path means circular motion and forward motions are together. Circular motion and forward motions are together. Are you able to getting my point or not? Okay, so next question is, next example is I think related to this particular thing. What is the radius of the path of electron moving at a speed of this and magnetic field and air? The magnetic field and these are perpendicular. So simply you can, we have just studied R is equal to nothing but I think mv by qb. Mv by mass is mass of electron, v speed, q you can say that q is charge and b is magnetic field. We have derived this relation. R is equal to mv by qb. Mv by qb. Next is what is the frequency? Frequency is nothing but we have just derived qb by 2 pi m. qb by 2 pi m. You have to just put the values, and next is the calculate the energy, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is half mv square. Everything is given to you. You can easily find the value of kinetic energy. Okay, this question is totally based on formulas which we have just derived, which we have just derived. So that's it from the first part. Thank you so much. And basically keep practicing. Try to solve all the question with your hand. Try to solve the question by yourselves. That will boost your confidence. That is just a simple request from my side. Okay, so okay, see you soon. Keep practicing. Take care. Bye bye.